The next speaker who's coming up for delivering his keynote address, I present you Ravi Bhaskaran from Twitter on how Twitter's tools for app development can help. Guys, put your hands together and show us some energy.
Good afternoon, everyone. It's an absolute delight to be here. Chennai is my hometown, and it's always great to be back. And kudos to GMASA for this amazing event. I didn't quite expect this, but this is awesome. The reason why I'm here today is to talk about Twitter's, sorry, I'm just getting used to this. The reason I'm here today is to talk about Twitter's Fabric. Fabric is Twitter's tool for app developments targeted at developers like you. This is something that we launched late last year based on the learnings from the journey that we've had as Twitter, and we've now opened it up to developers at large. Now let me tell you a little bit about the story of Twitter. Twitter started out many years ago as an SMS-based service. As the mobile ecosystem has evolved, we've changed. Though we've maintained the core of our platform, which is the live, public, and conversation elements, which really make events like these great for the platform, we've become extremely media forward. But over this journey, we've come across a bunch of challenges. Challenges that range from how to make a stable app, how to listen to user feedback, how to track user analytics, how to monetize the app, and a bunch of others. And when we fixed those problems and also acquired a bunch of companies on the way, we wanted to develop a suite and which we now call the Fabric, and we want to open that up to developers. Fabric essentially focuses on 4 key components that every developer faces, which is stability, distribution, revenue, and identity. And we've kind of productized it over the last year and made it extremely simple for app developers to integrate them onto their apps, and so that you can go ahead and really work on your secret sauce, which is what your core business is. Now it's going to seem like I'm going to preach to the choir, but I just want to highlight how the mobile ecosystem has changed over the past few years. Today, mobile apps are the way that consumers are using the internet. Especially in a country like India, it's not desktop usage, it's not mobile web usage, but it's really mobile apps through which consumers are getting a flavor of the internet. And at the center of all this change is all of you. There are 3 million professional mobile app developers around the world, and you guys are actually changing how mobile consumers are consuming the internet. There are 3 billion of them today using mobile apps, and it's growing at a very rapid rate. We at Twitter believe that the next great app or the next great app developer can come from anywhere, from any category. And which is why we at Twitter think that if we build a suite of products which puts developers at the center of everything, it'll really reap us great benefits in the future. And the result of all this is Fabric. Fabric consists of 3 main components. The first component, or kit as we call it, is called the Crashlytics kit. It comprises of the Crashlytics toolkit, which helps you in crash reporting and debugging your app. The second component is called Beta, which helps you roll out test builds of your app and get feedback as easily as possible. And the third one is Answers. Now that's just the first kit. The second problem every app developer faces is growth, which is why we have the Twitter kit, which incorporates advantages that the Twitter platform itself delivers, along with a couple of additions like digits. And the third aspect is monetization, for which we have Mopub. Now, the typical journey of an app developer, when it starts from an idea and eventually has to lead to monetization, there are a bunch of challenges. And these challenges are about stability, about how you test your app, analytics, identity, growth, and revenue, and which is what we exactly want to fix with the Fabric toolkits. Let's begin with the Crashlytics kit. And I will jump into the stability aspects of the Crashlytics kit right now. Suppose you've built a great app. For example, here I'm taking an example of a word building app. Now, a user is really enjoying his app, using this app, and what happens suddenly? The app crashes. And this is something we don't really want. We may all think that this is affecting the stability for one user, but it really affects the adoption of your app in the long term because of App Store reviews. App Store review. Have a look at this example where this user wants to give a negative review to your app because he's not able to use it as desired. That's why the founders of Crashlytics built a great solution which makes it extremely simple for app developers to locate bugs and fix them. Crashlytics gives you the exact file in which is causing the error, the exact line of code, the exact method which is causing the error, and gives you which build of the app is problematic, and also gives you an indication of the severity, the number of users being affected by it, and the number of crashes. Crashlytics also gives you a great time series charts of how crashes have been happening and how fatal they are. And in an increasingly fragmented Android market, it's important to locate which kind of devices, which brands, and which operating systems are causing the problem. So we give you an excellent view into that. Crashlytics has analyzed over 5.5 billion crashes in just the last 30 days. It is really the go-to crash reporting and crash debugging tool that there is in the market today. One of the reasons for Crashlytics' success is that it's extremely simple to use and extremely lightweight, which is, a few people referenced to it earlier. You can't keep adding SDKs to your app without making it heavy, but that's the secret sauce of Crashlytics. We've got great feedback from developers around the world, big or small. In India, we have the leading names like NDTV, Paytm, Savan, Bhangama, and a bunch of others using Crashlytics. Take a look at BuzzFeed's feedback. They say that Crashlytics dashboard is the first thing that the product manager sees every morning. And here is an example of the feedback from PopCap Games. They speak about, they speak about how it has been the hands-down champion in terms of third-party frameworks. It's really heartening to see such feedback, both among large players around the world and even in India. Whether you're big or small, it's absolutely easy to integrate Crashlytics into your app. The second challenge that most app developers face is, testing your build out with testers and friends and family. And Beta gives you a white-labeled way of doing that in an extremely elegant manner. Beta sends out a beautiful invite to your friend. It's completely white-labeled. It puts your app in the spotlight, and you can skip the complete process of App Store approval or having a user ID password to send your apps to testers. Another important aspect of Beta is that the UI of the invite itself and the kit adopts itself to the UI of your own app. So that makes it completely white-labeled. Beta also gives you an excellent view into the life cycle of the testing process. Gives you you can send out different sets of build to different users and get an idea of where each build is. So that's Beta making the life of testers much easier. The third important aspect, as you've fixed stability and the testing processes, is Answers. Answers gives you complete analytics on user behavior of your app. Now, Answers has processed over 2 trillion app events just in the past 30 days. It is, again, one of the most sought-after solutions by mobile app developers. The reason is because it gives you a lovely dashboard of the key metrics that matter to you as an app developer. be it monthly active users, daily active users, crash-free users, session lengths, and so on and so forth. The other great aspect about Answers is that you get a daily summary of what's happening in your app sent to your mailbox every day, and in a very, very TLDRE format, which is very important for all of us wearing multiple hats. So there we've addressed three components of app stability: crash reporting, testing your builds out, and getting analytics right. Now we move on to the next big challenge that any app developer faces, which is distribution and growth. And which is why we have the Twitter Kit. The Twitter Kit itself uses many of the strengths of the Twitter platform to reach out to users and really drive both adoption and engagement for your app. The Twitter Kit comprises of three or four main features. One is the Twitter sign-in. It makes it completely easy for you to do that. Sharing content from within your app, which is extremely important for driving growth. Embedding tweet content from within Twitter into your app, and that's a model that's been increasingly used by app developers worldwide. And the REST API, which I won't go on into too much today because it's a little technical. Now, we all know that the mobile app space is extremely crowded. You are competing with over 3 million other apps in the market. There have been billions of apps installed by users and also deleted by users. So it's extremely difficult to target users and find users. But then there is a solution. Twitter. If there's anything that is happening in the world, it happens on Twitter. Even if it's about, if there's anything happening in the world, it's happening on Twitter. Even if it's about this event right now, it's happening on Twitter. It's great to see that Twitter wall, by the way, or whether be it Modi's 1 year in office, or the final IPL game, or anything that is current in the world, it happens on Twitter. And yes, app conversations also happen on Twitter. Now, let me take your time to show you a quick example about Supercell. Many of you will know Supercell, but there is this interesting anecdote of how they launched a TV advertisement during the Super Bowl last year in the US. Super Bowl is the most sought after media time in the US. And if you haven't seen this ad, I'm trying to show this ad to you. It's pretty amazing. Just have a look at it.
I don't know you, big buffet boy 85. But if you think you can humiliate me and take my gold, think again. Oh, I'm coming for you with lots of barbarians and dragons. I can't wait to destroy your village while you beg for mercy. But you will get no mercy. I will have my revenge.
Liam? I have a scone for Liam?
Over here. It's, Liam. You will regret the day you crossed Angry Neeson 52.
Angry Neeson 52!
So this was an amazing video about the Clash of Clans game. And don't start tweeting about this just yet because I have something to say. I'm going to show you a time series of tweets that happened that were talking about the Clash of Clans game, and have a look at the inflection at the precise time when the video aired on TV. Seven million tweets just during that window. So it's important to understand that Twitter is the place where conversations happen. And people are talking about a bunch of stuff. People are talking about how they love the ad. People are talking about what level they're playing at. People are talking about how they want to download the app because they saw the ad, and so on and so forth. So app conversations do happen on Twitter. Let me give you another insight. This is a heat map of conversations about the top 20 apps in the Apple Play Store over a period of 30 days. 44 million tweets just about the top 20 apps. That's the volume of conversations that happen on Twitter about mobile apps. And the secret sauce of how this will help you, it's because sharing by the users helps your app grow. Here's an example from Path. Path saw 68,000 organic installs from Twitter referrals. I mean, I'm not talking about paid advertising on Twitter. I'm just talking about organic sharing, enabling organic sharing on Twitter. As a brand or as an app, you can go onto Twitter, spread your message, engage users, do contests and whatever else. And it will give you a fair amount of impressions and click-throughs. But look at the scale at which you can multiply this if you enable sharing from within your app. It's that easy. These are users who want to market your app for you. Why don't you take advantage of it? There are tons of other examples, but I want to take time to indicate this one from Russell. Russell was #1 in the US App Store for a while. 22 million users acquired organically from Twitter itself. An amazing 150K shares per week through Twitter. So there's a huge opportunity for all of you to tap into the 300+ million users on Twitter, 80% of whom are actually on mobile. So how do we do that? As I told you, we do that by enabling users to share engaging tweets. But how do you actually implement it? The first thing that you do is enable Twitter cards. You enable Twitter cards on your website. Now, what does Twitter cards do? Twitter cards helps you build embedded actions like, say, install an app or open an app from within a tweet. So, for example, if some user or you yourself tweet about your app, users who see the tweet can install the app from the app itself. There is no, the user doesn't have to go to the Play Store and look for it. It just installs the app right from the tweet. And of course, you've also enabled sharing in the first place, which you have to do to get this going. And this completes a full viral loop of sharing and users actually downloading the app. And you've obviously included the analytics piece from the Crashlytics kit. So this gives you a full view on how this viral growth is happening to your app. And it's that simple. Now, another aspect that a lot of apps like, in India, like NDTV and Savan are using, they are taking tweets from Twitter and embedding it within their app. Now, we've made it extremely simple for you to do that. You can design it according to the layout of your app. You can have photos and tweets. You can have a series of tweets, which we call a timeline within your app. So we've made it absolutely easy for you. So great content, if you're able to incorporate great content in your app, you're able to engage users. And that's the key message from here. So that's pretty much sums up distribution for you from a growth perspective and also from having great content. Another piece in the user journey where we help is identity. The traditional method for doing user identity has been email and password, but that has a bunch of problems. People forget usernames and passwords. It's easily hackable and so on and so forth. We've briefly fixed this through social logins, but there's an increasing trend in India where the real hero and the winner is the mobile number. And that's why we build digits. We at Twitter have excellent SMS infrastructure around the world. We are 100% connected to all telcos. So what we've done is we've taken all this infrastructure we have, packaged it into digits, and given it to you. It's extremely simple. You integrate digits into your app. Users enter their phone number to register with their phone number. And then the user gets a confirmation code as an SMS on his mobile. And once he inputs that confirmation number, we pass on to you a unique token along with the mobile number, and boom, there you have your app user identified. You can theme digits to whatever your app's layout is. We've made it extremely simple, and digits is available on iOS. It's available on Android. It's also available for the web. So you can actually build your complete business using digits. It's available India is completely covered, but it's available in all 216 countries across 32 languages. And the best thing about Digits, it's free. We pay for the SMSs that we send out. So whether you want to bring 100 users or 1 million users, this is actually completely free for you. So that's identity for you. And I'm going to talk briefly about the revenue piece, which is actually the MoPub kit, the third component of our Fabric SDK. With the help of MoPub, we allow you to track and use direct advertising channel to have ads on your app. You can also use ad networks like Facebook or iAd. And of course, we have the MoPub marketplace with which you're able to get the best rates for your inventory. MoPub has delivered over 220 billion ad requests in the past 30 days alone. The reason for its success is that we serve a variety of ad formats, whether it be the banner ad, whether it be the interstitial format, if you prefer that, or the video ad format, or even if you're into Twitter and love the native ad format of Twitter, you can use that as well. And it's, again, extremely lightweight and easy to integrate into your app. And that's the piece on revenue. So there it is, the three major kits that we have as part of Fabric: the Crashlytics kit, the Twitter kit, and the MoPub piece. The best thing about all this is that the Crashlytics and the Twitter kit is absolutely free for you to use, no cost whatsoever. And with the MoPub kit, it gets more interesting. It's actually free plus. You get to make money off of it. So that, in a nutshell, is Fabric for you. I encourage you strongly to go to fabric.io and have a look at the various toolkits that we have. And I'm sure any app developer will absolutely benefit from this. Now, I want to leave you with a final thought. Twitter has launched its first mobile app contest. The submissions for this, the last date for submissions is the 5th of June. So if you have a great idea, you've built a great app, and you've incorporated Fabric, make sure you submit it, because there are great prizes to be won. Thank you so much. It's an absolute pleasure to be here.
Sure. Thanks, Ravi. That was a supersonic take-through of all the tools you got. Beautiful and very visual presentation. Thanks for taking us through that. And one big round of applause for Ravi from Twitter.